So my move into cybersecurity industry was actually inspired by networking, because I was more into networking and I saw network security. And it seemed like an interesting aspect because, okay, I'm doing network, but how do I ensure that the organization is protected despite network that's being implemented? And I now got an offering of two in relation to cybersecurity, saying, okay, you can learn cybersecurity. And I just moved in. I saw it was a very interesting field. And once I started, I just really found passion in that aspect of cybersecurity. So that's how my influence into cybersecurity came about. CCT is a foundational course that really exposes you to the whole broad aspect of cybersecurity. Because basically, even for me, anyone that's coming into the cybersecurity field may not be so fully aware of what it fully entails. Probably they just have half an idea. Maybe some people just know, okay, I'm just going to know about hacking or something like that. But there are other aspects of cybersecurity, excluding hacking, which is kind of the most popular one and all. So I believe strongly that a professional cybersecurity expert should at least have an idea of what the wholesomeness of cybersecurity entails before he begins to move into his specialization, so he can communicate to anyone efficiently what cybersecurity is all about. So CCT has brought that knowledge and it's bringing that foundational knowledge of literally every aspect of cybersecurity that's out there. It's bringing the bits and bytes, trying to help you have that foundational understanding of what cybersecurity entails. What does it entail to be a cybersecurity expert? What does it entail to be a cybersecurity technician? Even before you talk about moving into your specialization. So CCT has brought that foundational knowledge of this is cybersecurity, so that you can help your expert who is moving into the cybersecurity field to grow based on those foundational skills that he has acquired from the course. So for a cybersecurity professional, if you are to meet someone, the question they will ask you is, okay, what do you do in cybersecurity? And I believe strongly every cybersecurity professional should be able to answer at the very basic what cybersecurity entails before he begins to move towards, let's say, he has his own specialization. Now, CCT has been able to bring that foundational understanding of the various aspects of cybersecurity, and it will help you as a professional in the early stages. Let's say you want to move towards specialization. It's good that you have an idea of everything that's available, what's on the table for cybersecurity, and even when you're choosing your specialization, it will kind of help you to know, okay, where does my passion lie? What will I push towards more? So you're not just being presented a limited option and trying to force yourself into one mold because probably the first thing that you had in cybersecurity was hacking, but you are given the full expanse of what cybersecurity entails. Then you as an individual who is moving towards specialization, probably in the advanced stages, is able to know, okay, as a cybersecurity professional, this is what's available. And I found my passion in this aspect. I found my passion in incident response or hacking or network defense or whatever the situation may be. I want to be a SOC analyst. So that early foundational knowledge would help you to know what it entails fully, what cybersecurity is about, everything that's open on the table presented before you, so that you as a professional will be able to now build your cybersecurity skill and your cybersecurity portfolio from there. So having that foundational skill is a very, very important, very, very necessary, aspect that every cybersecurity professional should have. Okay, so the CCT labs were actually very interesting. We made use of the catch the flag model, and there were a lot of interesting things that came about. So it's presenting you with the practical hands-on experience. It's trying as much as possible not just to give you a theoretical knowledge, but a practical knowledge, because it's not just about the theories of cybersecurity, knowing everything by head, but that ability to carry out that practical hands-on, that ability to do exactly what you know. And the CCT labs were able to present that in every module. Not only are you taught what is possible in cybersecurity, you are shown how exactly it can be done. So you're able to carry out those various actions, those various activities from the various aspects of cybersecurity. So the full, 80 plus labs is presenting you with, that full overall understanding of not just the theoretical aspect of cybersecurity, but a very practical hands-on experience with cybersecurity. The parts I would say I kind of loved the most was, I would say it was mostly the aspect of the labs that dealt with practical hacking. Yeah, because the aspect of cybersecurity I was more into was, network defense and all, because of the background of networking that I came with. So I never really had that understanding of, what ethical hacking entails. So it was just more vague there in my head. And, when I began to, see those, practical hands-on, labs of what it was done, it was something that was a really interesting domain for me. To use that word, I really found that kind of interest, and I saw, okay, these are, how these activities are actually carried out. Because I hear about this was done, they got this, they got that. I knew about the different types of maybe different types of hacking, malwares and stuff like that. But I was able to see, okay, this is how some of these malwares were created, this is how some of these hacks are carried out. And I found that very, very, very interesting for me. So I'll say the CTF, it's actually helped me to I use the word, pay more attention to details. Because for those kind of labs, a lot of people just kind of glance to the lab, okay, put this, they just do it, and all. So instead of making it so robotic, the labs, it actually made it much more, I use the word, intelligent. So it made it that you pay attention even as you're carrying out the action, because it made you to know, okay, things to look out for, paying that attention to details, helping you to understand more what to do, practically. So it did not just become about, achieving, probably the labs and just finishing through with the instructions or the manual that was given. It now helped me to pay more attention to, certain things that I may have missed out on just going through the lab manual and trying to implement it in the lab environment. And I had to pay more attention to certain little tiny bits and bytes, tiny details, and that, improved the overall learning curve, because I got, far more than just following through a lab. I got more idea of how to be intelligent, with the certain practical aspects of cybersecurity. Okay, yes, CCT was able to actually help me gain skills more at the technical level. One of them being primarily the lab, like I mentioned earlier. So I was not just going about, the theories of what is available in CCT. I was actually able to, carry out practically hands-on some of those things that I was hearing about. So that was one of the ways that it improved my technical skills. Other I would say was also, that exposure to multiple, solutions and devices, tools, applications that are being used in cybersecurity. So it kind of exposed me to what can be used to do this, rather than this is possible. So I'm not just hearing, okay, you can probably, let's say, carry out a hack on the website or something like that. I got that knowledge of, okay, this is what you can use to carry out, a hack, and these are the multiple options, these are the availabilities, this is what this can do as opposed to this. So that technical, it's kind of expanded that my overall technical knowledge, going far beyond the theories of cybersecurity, and so more practical, hands-on, ability, and that build of foundational knowledge of how of cybersecurity, rather than just the what of cybersecurity. Yes, the CCT has actually made me much more confident of taking on much more specialized courses, because it brought to fore that knowledge of all that's available, like say on the CCT table, to put it on the cybersecurity table, to put it that way. It just presented it, even though in a much more basic level, but it presented everything, and it has established that foundation such that if I'm going for much more specialization, if I'm building my career path in the field of cybersecurity, I have much more confidence, because I have that basic understanding of what each aspect would entail and how to go about it. And with the practical also being presented, there's that much more in-depth understanding of what various aspects of cybersecurity is presenting to the table, enabling me to actually take on much more specialized courses in future. Specifically for cybersecurity, I think I've just done only one aside this, and I would say that CCT is much more in-depth than that. Those courses just present, I say it's, to use the word, a bit too basic. We didn't really go much in depth into cybersecurity, and there were no labs present for those courses at all. So no labs at all. But CCT is presenting not just that theory but that in-depth lab. Right now, I have not really seen any course that can compare to CCT as an entry-level course. It's quite expansive, like very, very in-depth and detailed in exposing you to the cybersecurity field. And I'm not really seeing courses that compare to it as at present. For the CCT exam, I would say that the model was unique because it was kind of my first time of writing an exam of that pattern. So it was quite unique and quite interesting. The way it was divided, such that you're not just taking on the theories of the course, you're also having that practical hands-on experience. And funny enough, the practical was actually one of the aspects that I enjoyed most, because it's presenting you more of a hands-on scenario without giving you so many, to use the word, instructions of what to do. So you are now to make use of, that your initiative. It helps to really test how much you've learned practically in cybersecurity. So it's bringing to fore not just the theories of cybersecurity, but that ability of, okay, if you are given this practical situation, what can you do? Which is actually the essence of the course itself, to teach you what to do, not just why or how to do it. So it's showing you that full scope. So the practical was actually one of the sides that was very much of interest to me, and it was a unique experience because that was my first time writing in that kind of pattern of exam, but it was actually a wonderful experience. CCT. Okay, the favorite feature of the CCT program, I would still bring that to the lab. Actually, I would say that for me that was really one of the should I use the word icing on the cake? I'll put it that way, because it really exposed me to a lot. We're having over 8+ labs with a lot of different solutions, a lot of different activities to carry out. The catch the flag was also interesting, and also I think that I would say was my favorite feature of the CCT program. It was that the labs, it exposed me to much more practical knowledge. It helped me to think. It improved my skill on a whole other level. So that lab was actually one of my favorite aspects of the CCT program. The knowledge itself was very, very educative. Over 20+ modules, improving your knowledge, various aspects of cybersecurity, exposing you to a lot, not just not limiting or boxing into a particular corner, but telling you, okay, this is what's on the table, and helping you to have that foundational knowledge. But what was really my favorite aspect, or the part that was much more interesting me, was really as a favorite feature of the CCT program was the labs, the catch the flag feature, the labs, everything that they occurred in the 80+ labs. Okay, so for the immediate impact of the CCT, because this CCT course was one of the courses that was given by the organization as one of the criteria, for a promotion in my workplace, because of the knowledge that I was going to present to me. And upon achieving the CCT programs and putting my skills to work, it actually improved my job acceptability in the cybersecurity field, because in my organization where I currently work, I actually got a salary raise based on the fact that I was able to achieve the CCT program, and they're able to actually see the value in that. It actually helped me to be more efficient as a cybersecurity professional in my organization. So it actually brought to fore because I had been working there for some time, and now I had gotten this practical knowledge. I was able to actually make use of it, and the organization saw that value, supervisor saw that value, and it's actually I was able to actually present a case, for a raise. It just brought up that profitability in the job market of what my skills can bring to the organization, especially cybersecurity wise. So I would say it was of a great impact, and I'm really, really glad that I took the course because it was able to help me in my career and bring much more practical benefits to me. So I'm really, really glad for the CCT course.